It's time for another exciting episode of IT Career in Australia channel. And tonight's topic is top tips to succeed in your screening interview in the tech industry. I will cover some various strategies such as preparing for common interview questions, demonstrating positive attitude, and effectively communicating with the interviewer. Make sure to tag and share this video with your colleagues and friends who need to hear this, especially those who's looking for the job at the moment. Now, what is actually screening interview? Typically, screening interview is the initial stage of the hiring process for any company. And the purpose of the screening interview is, quickly evaluate and narrow down the pool of the candidates for a specific job. The purpose is to determine if you meet the minimum requirements for the position, and assess that potential fit for the company culture, potential fit for the team before even, go to more extensive interviews, technical interviews, tests, and so on. It's usually really quick, 15, 20 minutes, and it's typically held over the phone, or sometimes it could be a quick video call. Even for a technical position, screening interview, it's all about for the interviewer to kind of get the feeling, can I work with this person? Is this person, likable, curious, quick learner? Is it easy to talk with this person? Am I enjoying talking with this person? Is it someone I'll remember? It's all about these great communication skills. It's all about this first impression. And, the great communication skills often link to the things like your learning ability. If you have communication skills, usually with the assumption that you will be a quick learner, good problem solver, and so on. Of course, it could be situations where a company is looking for really, really specific technical skills, and it's all about that. And if you've done the exact same project in a previous gig, that's given. But often the success of screening interview is heavily depend on your personality and how well you're communicating. I think one more thing to remember here, the screening interview can be with recruiter, can be with the talent acquisition team, with HR person, hiring manager, but most of the time, 90% of the time, it's going to be with non-technical person. They're not going to hit you with the deep technical question, They just want to get the overview of your skills, and it's all about that ability to explain technical stuff to non-technical people and, keeping it simple, keeping it relevant to them. Screening interview, it's your chance to create this great first impression, Grab the recruiter's attention, impress them with like communication skills to stand out to the crowd. And I really like this quote here. You never get a second chance to create the first impression. So that's why when we're talking about the screening interview, it's all about creating that great first impression. And the first tip, have an elevator pitch. Everyone talks about elevator pitch. So what is it? Elevator pitch is basically that concise summary of who you are, your background, your career goals. So that's your answer on the question, tell me a little bit about myself. It's important to have a few versions of your elevator pitch prepared, but for a screening interview, it's best to keep it really short and to the point. Again, remember, the interview itself just limited for about 15-20 minutes. So you don't want to spend majority of the time talking. If the interview for 15 minutes and you talk for 10, it's basically 66% of the time you're talking, and person probably want to ask more questions. So you want to make sure that your elevator pitch doesn't go for 15 minutes. So if I'm simplifying it really, really basic, so it's a few sentences about your present, few about your past, and a few sentences about your aspirations and why you apply for this role. And having the well-crafted elevator pitch shows that you're prepared, you're confident, and able to articulate your value quickly and effectively. So obviously, it takes time to get it perfect, and you need to practice a lot. But the good thing, you can practice your elevator pitch everywhere. You can go on events, to the meetup groups, you can do it on the work meetings, calls, and just practice, talk about yourself, and in a different situation, and eventually you get the perfect version. Get to the point that you remember it by heart. If someone wake you up in the middle of the night, it should just roll off your tongue. Yeah, just here we go. Practice, practice, practice. The next tip from here, research the common interview questions. And the questions are similar regardless of the position. Obviously gonna ask you to tell about yourself, and this is your basically elevator pitch. Why you looking for new opportunity? What motivates you to apply for this particular position? What's important for you in your role? What are your strengths? What are you currently working on? What is your current project? But it's not that hard to be ready to answer those questions, because let's face it, most of the time it's the same questions. And there are a few usually questions just around your notice period, your availability, and salary expectations. Now, also people ask if you would like to work from home and would like to work remotely, or want to go to the office. So some company pushing to the office, some company like people working remotely. So because it could be, for some companies, could be deal breaker. Yeah, be ready to answer those questions. You just can Google them. Yeah, Google them. There's millions of blog posts how to answer those questions, and use ChatGPT. Yeah, just put your brief thoughts in the ChatGPT and ask him to brush it off, and here's your answer. Like, obviously not just read it from ChatGPT, but I mean, like, you can create some answers based on it, and practice your replies. Your screening interview probably most likely will be over the phone or maybe on video, so you can have your notes ready as well. So you literally can prepare all these questions, write your notes, and if you feel nervous, you can look at your notes and remember what you wanted to say. That brings me to the next tip. Be prepared when answering the phone. Seems like common sense, yes, but why not everyone's doing it? If you're actively looking for a role, I understand sometimes recruiters just call you out of the blue, and it could be some situations and just random number calls you. But if you're actively applying for the jobs, you need to, stay organized and try to keep track of the position you have applied for, because you need to be ready when someone call you. Often it's from some unknown number, and it's important to answer any call with some professionalism and show your interest. You don't want to answer a call and say like, "Oh, who's this?" Sometimes, you get the private number or something, and that's your first reaction. But please try not to do it. Or when the recruiter or the hiring manager telling you where they're calling from, and asking if you remember applying. I actually heard this answer. Some people say just like, "Oh yeah, I've been applying like everywhere. I don't remember which one is it." So just don't say it. Like, I understand you might don't remember. And I understand that you might be applying for millions of positions, but just don't say it. There is no need to answer the phone this way. Just avoid answering in like disinterested manner or sounding completely unprepared. And just try to avoid picking up calls on the inconvenient situation in general. When you're busy, I don't know, picking up your kids from school, you're on a train with the really poor connection, miss the call. Just make sure that you send a polite text message indicating that you will call back. And then you can also take this moment to search the phone number, Google it basically, to try to identify the company. And then when you return the call, you're prepared and you're ready to engage in conversation, and you actually know who you're talking with. I understand sometimes we don't want to miss the call from hiring manager, but look, sometimes it's probably better to Google the number, understand who's calling you, rather just trying to, answer at the same time when you like do shopping. And look, one more thing, if this interview been set up as a quick video chat, just please make sure that the video link is working. So make sure to log into this video call just 5 minutes before and check that link is working, camera is working, your microphone is working. It's happening all the time. I'm sure you've noticed you jumping from Google Meet to Microsoft Teams to Zoom, and sometimes you haven't allowed camera here or something else happened, and then you're trying to log into your video interview and the technology just fail on you. So just log in 5 minutes earlier. Make sure you do Zoom update. It's common sense, but I don't know why, like, just not everyone's doing it. Basically, here's a nice quote for you. By failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. By Benjamin Franklin. It's simple, as more you prepare, is better. You can't really over-prepare, to be honest. There is always more things to research and try to be ready for.